Hi, I'm Dr. Marc Sklar, the Fertility Expert, and welcome to Fertility TV. In this episode, we're going to be talking about IVF and whether I think it's time to start thinking about IVF. If IVF is in your future, then stay tuned to the end of this video where I share a little technique that I like to incorporate to improve your success rate. Hi, I'm Dr. Marc Sklar, the Fertility Expert, and I help couples all over the world get pregnant naturally. In this video, we're going to be talking about something that's not so natural, IVF. And even though my preference normally is to get pregnant naturally, on occasion my patients do have to try IVF, or I also have patients who approach me who are about to start IVF who want to increase their success. So I am very familiar with the IVF process, and I'm very comfortable with the IVF process. In this one, we're going to talk about whether I think it's time to start thinking about it or if it's the right decision for you. So first and foremost, it's a big decision. IVF is not something to just jump into. It's not something to just be pushed into. It's something that I think takes some thought and some planning on your part and your partner's part. I don't like to make these decisions lightly because it is so labor intensive on the whole family in terms of stress. There's a lot of pressure on you guys as a couple, and then financially there's a lot of pressure as well. So is it time for you to go through IVF? Well, the first decision that kind of dictates that is if there's any true physical issues, both for you or your partner. If there's really some physical issues, let's say the tubes are blocked, which is a real obvious one, or there's other abnormalities that need to be addressed, then there really might be no other option to conceive than to go through IVF. And if that's not an option, then we're really looking at like donor or surrogacy or adoption or something along those lines, depending on what the situation is. So first to check off is, are there any physical issues that really preclude you from trying to get pregnant naturally? 2, time. Do you and your partner feel like you've put in enough time trying naturally and you're kind of done with it, you just want to get pregnant? Or is time a pressure in terms of you're getting older and you want to make sure that in terms of your family planning that you give yourself enough opportunity to get pregnant not only with one but maybe multiple children, and so you do have to factor that in. So sometimes there's that time pressure, and I talk about the time factor in other videos, but sometimes there is this pressure on time pushing down on us because of our age or because we've been trying for so long and we're just so tired of putting in the time and the effort. The other one is, I often find that couples are pressured into going through IVF a little too quickly or pressured a little too much. First, I believe that about 70 to 80% of all couples who go through IVF are pressured to do it prematurely and can get pregnant naturally. So if you feel like you fall into that category, then maybe we should be looking and talking about other options before we go that route. But no one should make you feel pressured to move forward with IVF. It's something that you and your husband or your partner need to think about together and decide if that's the right path for you. There is no right or wrong answer, but I don't like for patients to feel pressured moving into it. And then another factor is finances, money. It's an expensive process. Most states don't cover IVF, and I'm not sure about all the countries, but some of them can be covered in certain countries. Certain states can cover it up to a certain amount. But if you don't have the insurance, then there is this certainly financial impact that you have to think about. So these are not things to take lightly. Last but not least, in terms of making your decision if IVF is the right next step for you, is listen to your gut. It's called women's intuition for a reason. I think you need to sit quietly, listen to your body, listen to yourself, maybe talk about it with some friends and family to see what they think, but you need to listen to your gut and your women's intuition to decide if moving forward is the right decision. If you do need some guidance and some help in making those decisions, those are things that I deal with my patients all the time. I'm happy to discuss it with you as well. But I think it's important that you sit with yourself and think about what you want, what you need, and what your body is telling you. And now on to that little technique that I like to use to enhance your IVF process. It's called acupressure, similar to acupuncture, but I like to recommend it for my online patients who are not here in San Diego with me because they can do it at home. And instead of using your hands to apply the pressure and facilitate the process, I like to recommend a little tool called the Seeds for Fertility because it applies the pressure more continuously and more evenly without the assistance of your hand, which gets tired pretty easily. So the acupressure, again, which is similar to acupuncture, can enhance IVF success rates, and research has shown that it can do that. So if you decide that IVF is in your future, then I suggest using the Seeds for Fertility. You can do so, or you can get the seeds by clicking on this link right here, and you also get a little promo code to give you a little discount as well. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to Fertility TV to get the latest videos coming out.